Rijnierse, which I hope is the correct pronunciation. He's going to give us an overview of his works, including Lumokinese, which was seen at Sonica last night, and his relation to the third culture. So, Mike.
No, thank you. It's very nice to be here. I want to start to talk about the work which is exhibited in the Kino in the Sonica festival. The work is called Lumokinese, and this is an image you're looking at is one of the presentations after the first presentation in the Melkweg in Amsterdam. It's a work of I developed together with Willem and Rijs, which is here as well, and that was a great project, and it still is a lot of fun to do. For those who didn't see the work, I can explain a little bit about how it works, because it's quite fundamental basics of light and color. The primary colors in light are red, green and blue, instead of the pigments are red, yellow and blue. And so we work with these colors, actually, basically, that's almost it. But there's something happening. There are two sets of RGB in space, and there is always RGB there. Only the position of the red, the green and the blue is changing. So the space is basically white, because the sum of the RGB is white, but the shadows is colored, because if you split white light up in RGB, you get 3 shades, because you have 3 angles of one object. So you get 3 shades in 3 colors, and these colors are different from the colors of the lamps. Why? Because the colors, the shades, the shadows are RGB -1, so it's a mixture of only 2 of these. So then you get CMY, cyan, magenta and yellow. So that is the result on the context, on its architectural context. And because we have kinetic objects in the space, the shadows move, so the CMY blend with each other, so we mix it back to RGB again. And that's what's going on. So, funny thing, the first time we did it, we proposed it for a prize in The Hague, which is a workspace project prize, which is very nice because we won it. And yeah, the proposal was actually to, I worked in this building as a projectionist while I was studying in the same city. And I love the space, I love the architecture for this building from Herzberger, and it's wonderful. And I saw a lot of projects in this space related to cinema. What happened always is that, like, this is a corner of the building on the first floor, and it's always, you see the windows there. What we did in this situation, we made the windows half transparent. So it becomes a projection screen, more or less. So, well, because most of the projects happening there is like people close the curtains, and there is no relation with the outside anymore. And we were thinking about to make out of this place in the city, which is part of a film house, to make a machine out of it, in the sense of maybe some of you might know in the pre-cinema there's a big history of animation machines, and I'm very fascinated by it. And anyway. So what we did, we created a situation where the result of the machine was visible on the outside of the building. So when you were walking in the evening, and then we did it in December, and so it was planned, so it was dark, and that was very nice. you have to resolve so everybody outside could enjoy as well, as far people do. So if you went into the film house, Toezaal 5, which is the name of this room, you get into the machine, just like here in Kino Siska. And then, because you bring your shadow, you become a part of the process. So that is actually I wanted to tell about the work we present here. I want to go to another work. This Lumokinese is 2008. In that same year, I did a very nice project, and I want to show how I came there. So we go back from 2008 to 2005. I was working with sound in that period. I did several projects, sound projects and spatialization of sound. And by some kind of a coincidence, I met Rijnierse, and Rijnierse unfortunately died about, it's already January, it's a year ago. Yeah, it's a year ago, I think. And it's a fantastic artist, and he's heroic, actually. There's a huge story. I try to keep it as short as possible about this project because Krijn asked me to make a sound installation for the opening of his work. The hill you see right here is called the Franse Berg, and it's the highest hill in the Hoge Veluwe. So as you can see, it's not that high, and it's the Netherlands. Before this stair was here, there were trees, as you can see, and they had to be cut to build the stairs. But as trees do, they grow back. So what's the big deal? There was actually a big deal because the proposal for this work was done in 1986, 18 years before the realization was in 2005. Why? Because people were complaining there was a flying, vliegend hert, I don't know, some kind of bug was there living, and yeah, it's a beautiful bug. But now people were protesting a lot. But finally, after 18 years, he managed to build the stairs. And the name of the work is called Kijk uit, translated in English, and the title is well Kijk uit / Attention. The weird thing is that in the same year somebody fell from the stairs, and yeah, it was a terrible accident, and now it's closed. And it's very strange because now you come in it's the sculpture garden of the Krullenmullen Museum, one of the most beautiful museums in the Netherlands, and now there is a guard every minute. The museum is open, and there are a few observation cameras. So, kijk uit, attention, watch out is, yeah, it's a weird situation, very strange. So now it's there, and the trees are back again, but you're not allowed to get up there. Well, that's great, yeah. If an artist like that asks you for a sound installation. What we did is we developed, like actually the stair is like an extension of a sideline in the forest, as you can see here. Here you see a photo from the stairs into the starting point of the sideline, which was already there. The sideline was always there, before even they started constructing the stairs. So what we actually did, and with audio, we extended the piece. And yeah, as you can see, there are speakers it is 170 meters here. At the start of the path there is the first speaker, until the stairs is the last speaker. And what we did, yeah, we called it Pandemonium. So we projected sounds from the start of the path to the stairs. And we made it a bit industrial, and to get some kind of a feeling of the collaboration with Rijnierse, it is quite raw. Now it starts the time lapse of the construction. It takes so long because, yeah. And the guy with the little cap, that's Krijn, and that was a great collaboration. And he really got us into his process as well. So what we did, we threw quite industrial sounds there. But what we added to the sounds is the effect you have actually when object passes, making a sound, you get a Doppler, like you know maybe from the ambulance, like and if you have that, we notice that people get the feeling that there is not a sound passing by like on your stereo set. No, there is something coming, so it's threatening. So people almost dived into the bushes because there was something was coming there. Well, that was a great project. There's a lot of people, very big attention, but yeah, great. You can still go there. It is in the Krullenmullen Museum in the Netherlands, and yeah, it's still very impressive, though you cannot get on it. That same year, in 2005, I was contacted by TAG, an organization in The Hague, which as well, unfortunately, doesn't exist anymore, but well, there will be new ones. And they were looking for a project for today's art festival from Olaf van der Winden, which is as well here, for yeah, multi-channel sound project for Grote Marktstraat, the big market street in The Hague. I did that in that same year, and in 2007 I got another phone call from people from Today's Art, and they noticed what I was busy with, and I got a strange question like, Mike, can you build a landing strip? And I was like, yeah, no problem, I have it already, I only need to change the sample. So I show you the project we did in The Hague in 2007, which I have
May I have your attention, please? Urban space and futuristic visions is now ready for immediate departure from Gate 7. Passengers with babies and small children or requiring special assistance will board first, followed by passengers in row numbers 1 through 15.
no, I skip it a bit because it's online. You can look it back, but it was a great opportunity to transform the central street of your own city. It is. I was really fortunate to have this chance, and funny thing was that we were working in a team. You cannot do it alone. I worked together with Basten Stokhuizen and Detlef Valerius, and it is pretty tense here because if you get an opportunity like that, you don't want to fail. You cannot do it again. There was a lot of. It was very complex. We had to shut down the city, the street lights. And now the producer managed to arrange a key so we could switch it off ourselves. And that caused another problem, which you can maybe ask Olaf during the next coffee break. Well, and the funny thing as well, you start working on such a thing, and then things. Okay, I have to have the sound of an aeroplane. Yeah, what do? You go to an airport and stand beside the landing strip and record an aeroplane. Doesn't work really like that, because if you want to have this idea of an aeroplane going by using the Doppler effect, you want to have the aeroplane itself. So actually you should have to mic an aeroplane and then record it. That was a bit too complicated, and we had so little time to do that. So finally, we overdubbed and edited my vacuum cleaner, and that was basically the plane going up and down. This guy, Olaf van der Winden, a year later, I think it was summer, was working on a new project with his Crazy Festival. And he was working with some great artists, but they were struggling with the situation of the central station in The Hague. They wanted to do a sound project. The question was what do we need to do there? And I asked him if we could meet after a week. A train station. Okay, well, what are we going to do with a train station? The thing is, the train station in The Hague is a head station with 13 tracks. Eventually we only use 10 because of some practical reasons. But I looked at it and I thought okay, if you have a train station and tracks, there are so many similarities. Maybe Soundman already recognizes tracks. We're going to make a mixer out of it. So on the heads of the tracks, we put a rangefinder, and which can detect the distance from the train, because the only thing we cannot change in a situation is the arrival and the departure of the train. For the rest, we had a brilliant installation. We only needed to wire it. And that's what I developed with Geert-Jan Hobijn and Erik Hobijn. And there it only started, actually, because every track needs his own sound system. There are other things going on. We did some research and talked with the machinists from the trains. Maybe everybody knows it when a train arrives on the central station or any kind of station. Sometimes the end station, most often, it arrives and the compressor is still on, and then you hear and then it goes off, because there is enough pressure for the compressor. We noticed that it's a problem to keep that motor running. The compressor is already full, so we asked them when they, at a certain moment, because it was a composed hour, it was an hour of noise, to leave in a certain moment the motors on, so you get this. So these kind of sounds we all try to use, as well like the typhoons, the horns from the trains. There were people getting in the station, in the train, with a track, with a duotone rhythm, and they horned it when we left when the trains left the station. So I play a little video of this as well. Toy of Erik Hobijn, which is the one and only pyro artist in the Netherlands. Thank you for your attention.